Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome to this session. It's called Making Sustainable Business Out of Sanitation. And we've called it with the banner Sanitation for All, the Drive to 2015. My name is Paul van Koppen from the Netherlands Water Partnership, and I'll be your moderator this afternoon. And we'll have a sanitation financing session this afternoon, very much focusing on innovative funding, financial sustainability, financial viability. And my job is to make it as interestingly as possible. But please bear with me. I'm also the moderator, so I have to keep to time and see that everyone gets an equal opportunity for engagement. Before telling you a bit more about the program, I would first like to invite to the roster our guest of honor this afternoon. We have Mrs. Uschi Eid speaking this afternoon, a keynote on access to sanitation, the relevance of sanitation in the nexus/green economy, and the post-2015 energy discussion. As some of you may know, Ms. Uschi Eid, she has been a member of parliament in Germany for the Green Party. She's also been a former State Secretary of State, I think, for Economy and Development in the federal government. But she speaks here in the capacity of the Vice Chair of UNSCAP, the United Nations Secretary General Advisory Board on Water and Sanitation. And I know her quite a long time, and I know she's a kind of ally for, I would say, to the sanitation workers. And the plea for getting sanitation more higher on the agenda and talking about shit. I remember you acting several times. So she will bring us up to, let's say, the latest information. And then after her speech, I will tell you a bit more about the program this afternoon. Ms. Uschi Eid, may I invite you to come to the podium. Give her a big applause.
Well, why not? Well, then I'm too, then I'm not used to be that tall, yeah.
So take it away. Right?
And to be so much above the others. My former chair, when he was standing next to me, and you all know whom I'm referring to, yeah. That was always the difference between him and myself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, I'm often asked to speak about sanitation, but this workshop is different. And why is it different? Instead of only looking at sanitation as a horrible problem, today we are starting from the premise that sanitation provides an exciting business opportunity. I fundamentally agree with this premise. By changing our point of view, I believe we can open up a world of opportunity. That is why I'm truly delighted to join this session. In my keynote today, I will first review the global picture for sanitation. This will lead to how sanitation fits into the water, food, energy nexus for a green economy. I will wrap up with some background on how we can create an enabling post-2015 development agenda for sanitation as we move beyond the Millennium Development Goals. I've been invited here as Vice Chair of the Secretary General's Advisory Board on Water and Sanitation. When we formed in 2004 this board, we quickly realized that sanitation was almost absent from the development dialogue, and to be honest, I hardly could believe this. So we agreed right from the beginning to help create a space for sanitation advocacy by encouraging UN member states to support a resolution calling for an International Year of Sanitation in 2008. By all accounts, that year 2008 marked a turning point for sanitation advocacy. In New York, at the United Nations, in capitals across the world, In regional development banks, people were talking about the urgent need for toilets. In towns and villages, local groups were active. The women's campaign in Asia, "No toilet, no bride," was especially encouraging. The year helped break down the taboo that surrounds toilets, open defecation, and the need to manage human sewage. We were also pleased with the dynamism the International Year of Sanitation created. But, of course, a year passes by very quickly. To extend this energy, the board laid the groundwork for the sanitation drive to 2015. And I'm especially pleased to see this at the top, yeah, and that you are using and you feel part and parcel of that drive. Thanks a lot, yeah. I will report this to our board. The drive is a campaign backed by the United Nations resolution calling for an end to open defecation and redoubled effort to halve the proportion of people lacking safe sanitation by 2015. And mind you, that was not so easy to enter in the diplomatic rhetoric expression and open defecation. This has never been done before. Yeah? So we are also very proud that a phrase like this is in a UN resolution. Friends, redoubled efforts are urgently needed. Despite the fact that sanitation is more central in the development dialogue, 2.5 million people continue to lack access. The sanitation target lags behind all other Millennium Goals. Solutions like the ones we will discuss today must be our focus. Making the connection between sanitation and human rights, health, environment, social development, and the economy is also needed. The sanitation drive to 2015 does just that. We have developed convincing arguments backed by empirical evidence for our 5 main messages. First, sanitation is a human right for all citizens. We do not believe that sanitation needs to be a free service. Rather, sanitation needs to be sustainable and affordable for all. Second, sanitation brings dignity, equity and safety, particularly for women and girls. Yes, we are seeing gains for sanitation and for drinking water, but consistently across middle income and poor countries, the poorest segments of society are simply not benefiting. In Sierra Leone, a person in the richest quintile is 29 times more likely to have access to a toilet than someone in the poorest quintile. The world of today cannot accept any longer that 12% of girls drop out of school when reaching the menstruation age due to the pure lack of toilets that gives them privacy for personal hygiene. Third, sanitation is vital for human health. Diarrhea is the second leading cause of death in children under 5. Cholera, dysentery, worms, trachoma and malnutrition could be reduced through improved sanitation. Fourth, sanitation sustains clean environment. Open defecation can contaminate land and local water source. And in developing countries, roughly 90% of sewage is dumped untreated into rivers, lakes and coastal areas. Fifth, the drive message most relevant for our discussion today: sanitation is a good economic investment. Oh, sorry, $1 invested in sanitation yields a $5 return. The 2.5 billion people lacking sanitation represent a vast potential market. Most are willing to pay something for a toilet, which translates into huge opportunities for local entrepreneurs. Friends, as we pursue these business opportunities, it is important to be aware of urgent need to do more with less environmental impact. With 7 billion people on the planet, it is our responsibility to meet our needs more efficiently. A water, food, energy nexus approach will help us make this change to a green economy. And how? by identifying cross-sectorial impacts and trade-offs so that more efficient solutions can be pursued. Think about producing energy from human facus. Use less water. Capture energy. Talk about turning a problem into an opportunity. And when I was traveling in a country in Northwest Africa, English speaking, I saw a truck, and on that truck it says, and now I come, for you it's shit, for us it's bread. So there are entrepreneurs on the ground who use these opportunities, to make their living, their existence out of shit. So this is exactly what is needed. Anyway, humans have understood for centuries that urine and facus make excellent fertilizers. And I just walked through the Aquatech and I collected this little card where it says green urine, yeah? Transforming urine into fertilizer, well, call it green urine. This is attractive. I will use this in my next speeches somewhere else, yeah? After facus help produce energy, the remnants can be used as a cheap fertilizer for local crops, for urban agriculture, vegetable gardens in slum areas, and thus increase food production. Of course, it is crucial that this is done safely for both the workers and the consumers. Some figures show that we are facing a phosphorus shortage. This could have big negative impacts for food security. There is enough phosphorus in our annual output of urine to provide phosphorus for more than half of the grain we consume in a year. Systems that separate urine from facus are available and have been proven to work. Urine collection is another viable green economy venture. Our board makes the point that wastewater management is a quintessential nexus issue. After treatment, grey water can be reused for peri-urban agriculture. We know that in many parts of the world, wastewater is already used for agriculture. This practice should be encouraged, but it must be done safely for food security. And as our new chair is from Jordan, I ask you, look into the Jordanian experience. There, grey water is widely used for irrigation agriculture. Energy can be captured from wastewater. In fact, according to a recent study, on average, wastewater contains 7.6 kilojoule per liter, which is 20% higher than previously estimated. Our board is not suggesting massive trunk and branch wastewater systems that are prohibitively expensive in many countries. Instead, we need innovation, smaller modular systems that capture energy and clean water for the next appropriate use. I'm looking forward to learn from your examples you will share this afternoon. Let me wrap up with our board's vision for a dedicated water goal in the post-2015 development agenda. We believe that a dedicated water goal will help create an enabling environment for the kinds of sanitation solutions you are discussing here today. Our board's post-2015 position is comprised of three main elements. First, a global water goal should set a target to achieve universal access to sustainable sanitation and to drinking water that is really safe. The MDGs on water and sanitation targets have helped move us ahead, but the next step must be universal access. Second, the goal should include objectives for more wastewater collection, treatment and reuse along with pollution prevention. It is obvious that sanitation does not stop at the toilet. It is therefore necessary to incorporate wastewater collection, treatment and reuse so that everybody can enjoy the health benefits, economic growth and human dignity that comes with safe sanitation. Third, our board believes The goal should include targets for improved integrated water resource management and water use efficiency. This is not a new idea, however, now is the time to set clear objectives around this approach. To cope with climate variability, water management is the first line of defense. All of these elements are articulated in our new Hashimoto Action Plan number 3, which was officially launched last month at the Budapest Water Summit. We have been encouraged to see others taking up these 3 components of a water goal. For example, the high-level panel of eminent persons on the post-2015 development agenda echoed the need for universal access to water and sanitation, along with a broader perspective, including water efficiency in agriculture and improved wastewater treatment. The World We Want 2015 is a massive consultation to seek the views of civil society on the post-2015 framework. As part of this effort, the water thematic consultation again cited universal access, integrated water resource management and wastewater treatment as the 3 main challenges that must be addressed in the next development framework. And in September, the interim report of the UN Member State Open Working Group on Sustainable Development Goals noted that countries have shown broad support for a dedicated goal on water. Now the question is, where from here? First, we need to be clear on our messages, and I think that events like this today will help us clarify our ideas and messages. Second, we need to work on monitoring systems to support our goals and targets. By develop credible and robust targets, which are supported with measurable indicators, we will be able to make a strong case for water as a global goal. Third, we will all agree that we must take on water-related risks to ensure a sustainable future. Securing an ambitious yet viable water goal will move us in the right direction. UNSCAP stands by to support, and I invite you all to join this effort. Last word, in just a few weeks, November 19th, will mark the first official United Nations World Water Day. Imagine what Dr. Samuel Sarfati might have thought if he had been told this, that in the year 2013 the international community will celebrate the toilet to focus attention on the fact that billions of people will live without good sanitation. We continue to need the kinds of solutions that Dr. Sarfati introduced right here in Amsterdam 200 years ago. Let his spirit inspire the sanitation drive to 2015 and beyond. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Eid, and thank you for your encouraging words and your continued battle, I would say, to get the sanitation gap closed.